What's it gonna be? Yes, I'm still doing a Prince tribute. I'm picking up where I left off last night. I'm doing a Prince tribute in here. Okay, I do Prince tributes every day, KBLX Nation. If you're joining us for the first time, or even if you're coming back for the 1000th time, Nikki Thomas, afternoons on 102.9 KBLX. It's time for the happy hour live. We're just trying to give you some resources to make life a little bit more comfortable while we're in shelter in place, because it's really an excellent time for change, y'all. I know y'all understand what I'm saying. These earbuds are getting on my nerves a little bit. Can you guys hear me okay? As long as you can hear me okay, I'm okay. But tonight we're going to talk about something super important. So as much as I want to sing about 3-4 more Prince songs, we're going to just jump right into this today. So the conversation lately has been about all kinds of things in our lives shifting instantly. Shifting instantly. Everything has changed. The way we educate our children, our money is shifting, our social lives have shifted. Roderick Jefferson is here. I feel like VIP now. I know I'm important. Mama, we made it. Roderick Jefferson in the building, baby, in the building. Everything. If you have not shifted, you're behind. And the one thing we got to have a conversation about tonight, KBLX Nation, is money. Now, today's program is not going to be financial advice, but we're going to shift our money mindset, because just in case you have not come to that point yet, that's what's got to happen. We've got to shift our money mindset to keep up with how fast things are changing. So we've got a very, very special guest. Please take notes. Please share this video, because you're going to want to say, hey, I need my friends to know this information too. She is a psychologist, a financial coach, a speaker, and an author, and she is the doctor of rethinking. Yes, she is the doctor of rethinking. And as soon as I heard that part, I said, sister, you need to be in my life immediately. Please welcome Dr. Rosché Brown.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
See, anybody who starts moving and grooving with me, we best friends now.
Yes, let's go.
We best friends now, because some people just kind of sit there stone faced like, she crazy. It's like, no, I need you to be crazy with me. Yes, okay. Right. Sharice Porter is here. She says, Dr. Rosché is my financial guru.
Hey.
And yeah, so we're in good hands.
Oh, look at
we're
that.
We're in good hands. Isn't this cute? Isn't this
cute? Yes.
I know. And I call Sharice my cousin. Hey, Fanny. Oh, my cousin's here. So, number one, we love this. Let's just start right here.
Okay.
I want to talk about the psychology of change. Because if we can understand why it's so hard for us to change our minds and change our actions, maybe we can jump into these things a little quicker. So give us a little foundation on how we can approach change a little better.
Ooh, okay. That's huge, right? So they actually have in psychology what's called the stages of change. Right. So it's actually a cycle that you can actually go through. Like the first level of the stage of change is kind of that. It's called pre-contemplative stage, which means that I ain't thinking about it. I ain't trying to change or anything like that. I'm not even contemplating that process. Right. So that's the first level of stage. And then you move into contemplative, where you're starting to think about it. It's like that level of maybe I should lose weight. Maybe I should do something with my money. You're just thinking about it. You're not doing nothing. You're just thinking this is now a time to start doing that. And then you move into the state that you're actually taking action, right? Where you're starting to say I'm going to start eating right or something like that, or I'm going to start managing my money correctly. So you start to go into that action stage. And then from there, you understand this one thing, and this is huge for all people when we're making changes, is that relapse is a part of the process. Relapse is a part of the process. So a lot of times we get started, we start doing things, that's the right thing. And then all of a sudden we go back to our familiar patterns, right? Because life happens and that's normal. And I think that a lot of times it's the way that we approach relapse that actually impacts us the most when it comes down to change. Sometimes when you relapse, we feel like, we're a failure. So we start thinking negatively about ourselves. We start having so much shame, like something's wrong with me. Why can't I ever get it right? And then we stay in our relapse too long. That's the real problem when it comes down to change versus just saying like, ooh, I fell off. Let me get back on it. Right. And so that's the biggest issue that I notice when it comes down to changing, even just right now while we're in, like, I've been calling it COVID land and stuff like that. This is forced change, right? So
right.
It must happen, but it would be better for us to have made some changes beforehand, but we can't, cry over spilled milk. What we didn't do before, we didn't do. Let's start making, some changes now.
Okay, girl, let me jump in here because it's like we're doing double Dutch.
Yeah,
you're speaking my language. Let me translate a few things that you just said. Relapse is a part of the process. That's where people get stuck.
Yes.
Because they start judging the fact that they've relapsed. Oh my God, I'm a failure. I can't do this. I don't know what made me think. It's a terrible spot to be in, right? Yes. But it's just like meditation, because when I teach people meditation or yoga, it's the same thing. It's like, what? Don't think that you've got to clear your mind.
Yes.
That's, you're hitting your head up against the wall. If you think it's got to be a perfect state, you got to jump into, from the get-go. Right. So, if you just let go of the judgment of yourself and let the thoughts pass through there, they'll slow down eventually. Yes. And you'll get it. Yes. Just sit and keep pushing. So I love that. I love the language. Relapse is a part of the process. You're going to mess up a bunch of times, but you're going to learn something every time. That's the other thing.
Exactly. And then the goal is that relapse doesn't happen as frequently, right? Over time, it won't happen as frequently. You won't sit in it as long, right? Because you'll learn like, oh, I've been here before. Let me get back out. And so that's what true change looks like, is that we're able to kind of catch it and we move past it a lot sooner.
I love that. Okay, so let's turn the corner a little bit, because with that being said, sometimes we have situations like this, and where, look, you don't have any choice. Yes, you have to change. Yes, and number two, there are times when all of a sudden nobody flipped that switch for you. One day somebody says one thing. I know that's why I love the audiobooks. Yes. Because sometimes one person will be able to say it in your language. You'll be like, wait a minute.
Exactly. Yes.
I never thought of this before.
Yes.
So there can be instantaneous change.
Definitely.
So there can be mindset switches. So you know what? This is great. That's just laid a really nice foundation for us here.
Definitely.
So if you want to make a change in your mindset around your money, and you have to right now, we can do it.
Oh yes,
it's something that we can do. Right. So let's say there's somebody who's watching or listening, and this COVID is hitting them really hard income wise.
Yes.
Right. What would they have to do? What would be step one to turning away from this mindset? Because I believe that no matter how bad it gets, there's always an answer. Always.
Yes.
Definitely. Always. So what's our first step if we're in a place of financial trauma, pain right now? You're looking for answers.
Yeah. So here you kind of mentioned this is the main step, that meditation, right? You have to stop, you guys. You have to stop. When we are in states of anxiety, it can feel like it's a million things popping in our heads over and over and over again, right? And what needs to happen is that we need to slow down. And you can do this in all kind of ways, right? I often tell people, take 5 deep breaths, right? Getting really like centered and grounded in that kind of way. Also getting some type of journal. You can get a pretty journal, get a notebook. I don't care what it is, but sometimes you need to write some of the things that are in your head down. And you might notice it's only really like 5 things, right? It's those 5 things that just kind of keep on hitting you over and over and over again. And you want to kind of get structured with that. So now when you have those 5 things, you know what it is. Now you want to get people who can give you the type of skills and support that you're going to need in this time. right? Now, of course, I'm a psychologist, so I think that everybody at this point should be utilizing some level of like therapy. I know it's different for you. It might be new for you. You may not have never needed it before, but you may need it at this time, just to process some of the thoughts that are coming up in your head, right? A lot of times we don't like to you just kind of need to talk it out, because everybody in your family, if the people in your household, they're just as anxious as you, they're not going to be able to help you see opportunity. They're going to keep doing stuff first, right? So you need an extra person outside of that to help you see that it's possible, right? Depression, anxiety, you just feel stuck. You feel like there's no possibilities. It just feels like it's always going to be like this, right? So you want to kind of get ahead of your mindset right there by kind of getting some support. If you have like a positive friend, you don't have to even go to therapy, but somebody that's even positive around you, make that person your person that you're connecting to, and that you're telling them, hey, this is what's going on with me. I need a quick check-in, just to kind of share what's going on in my emotions, right? So that's kind of the first portion. Get connected to what have you always had as your money thoughts, right? A lot of people have issues when it comes down to thinking about money anyway, right? We have money shame even before you lost your job. So there were already some issues that were already deep-seated when it comes down to your money. And so I want you to kind of get like connected. What are those issues? What were those thoughts? Who taught you about money? What were your patterns about money? Like, are you one of those YOLO? You was one of those people that's like, you only live once. I made my money. I need to go ahead and spend that money. Well, how are you feeling? What kind of person were you? Kind of get connected to those kinds of things, and then say, hey, I'm going to make a change, right? I have to make a change. There are opportunities out here right now, even while we're in COVID land. There's opportunities where there's actual jobs that are actually hiring right now, you guys. And a lot of times we just feel like we get so, stuck in the fact that, we just got this big blow, right? Of course, like this big blow of maybe losing your job. And so I don't want to invalidate that. That's real.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
On the other hand, there's opportunities. I mean, Instacart is going like crazy, right? That's an opportunity there, that you can be doing that door dashing. I don't care what it is. It's stuff that you can jump into really quickly and start to, bring some income within your household at this time, right? So you want to kind of check into the opportunities. You guys literally can Google, I think it's like employment opportunities during COVID. There's like, actually, if you Google that, you'll see all these opportunities for jobs that are actually hiring at this time, even though this is a very difficult time.
Girl, you better preach and preach again. It's amazing to me, like when I start having conversation, everything is spiritual. Everything is mind, body, spirit. Everything is. And when you say spirit, I think people kind of shift toward like religion,
right?
But spirit is how you see yourself as much as anything. How much you believe in how connected you are to spirit. So, it's a big thing. I just wrote down the word flow. Being in flow. And being in flow means you're not worried about money because you're in your abundance at all times.
Oh, yes. I'm all about that. So even to go to the next level, get your meditation right? That's number one. But even just like affirming good things over your life. And this is what I have been telling people, even just people who are having regular anxieties, even if it's not even just around money, is that start when you're in your journaling kind of stage, start scripting out what you desire to happen. What's that desired outcome? Versus what most of us have been doing in our minds is just think about the worst case scenario, right? And then we wonder why we're feeling super anxious because we only think about what is the bad thing that can happen. Versus taking the stance on our life, like even in the morning, to say, no, this is what I'm going to command over my day. Right? I'm going to command that my household is going to be safe. My household is going to be healthy, that I'm going to, live in abundance, that this is one of my affirmations that I say to myself on a regular is I make money easily and effortlessly, right? You can start saying to yourself that money just kind of flows to me, right? Open up that energy. What they have in psychology is this concept called the self-fulfilling prophecy. So the self-fulfilling prophecy, this is real, like it feels very spiritual, even though it's not even a spiritual concept, right? But in self-fulfilling prophecy, we foretelling the future, right? Once we say something to ourselves, we often fulfill whatever that is, whether it's positive or negative, you guys. Whether it's positive or negative. So if I sit there and say that, my life is, in a bad place, it's always going to be like this and all that kind of stuff. what you'll do is that what's going to follow those kind of thoughts and those statements are your actions to make it become true, even before it actually is. Right. So be very, very careful. And if you can do that in the negative zone, you can always shift it and start doing it positively. So you can start saying what you desire, that my bills will be paid. Here goes a practical tip during COVID land as well, is call your utility companies. Be proactive. Right? Before things start to try to shut off, call the utility companies, call whatever cable company, call the different people that are offering discounts right now, offering deferments right now, offering forgiveness right now. Look at these are some practical steps that sometimes we just feel like we're so stuck that we can't do anything, but people are actually here to help you right now. So make sure you're proactive and you guys, check in with them, let them know, hey, I'm in a financial and economic hardship right now. I don't have a job. What can you offer me? Right. And have that they can offer you.
Oh, girl. Oh, let me tell you what I just wrote down here.
Okay.
This rich people study rich people. That's what rich people do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Rich people count every penny.
Yes.
And I just had this conversation with a friend of mine. She said she worked at like a call center, like for a bank.
Yeah.
And she said these people who were millionaires would call over $1.50.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the thing is, that money, it's not just money. So that's your time and your work and your life. That's minutes off your life. You're going to give me my $1.50 back in this bank account today.
Yes.
So, and I think, and I'll share this, I love the little come to Jesus moments we having right now. So I've said this with every expert. It's like, we can't just share the shiny part of the story with our KBLX Nation. Oh, it's Nikki. Look, I'm here with Maxwell, and look who I'm here with, Eric. I can't just share that part.
Right.
Y'all know I was not at KBLX for a whole year. I'm a single mom. All right. So for a year I was unemployed. Yeah. And I'm not going to say I didn't worry, but I also knew that this was time and freedom that I might not have again. Yeah. So I took the whole year and I said, you know what? It's going to come. It's going to be all right. I taught yoga. I hosted events. I created events, but I had time to spend with my daughter that I never had before. Yes. So I said, right now we're going to take a trip and we're going to travel for a month. I had never done that before in my life. Yes. So, the thing is, we have to reset how we see abundance. Yes, definitely. Definitely. You could not have any money and have a lot of abundance. Right. Oh yeah. It starts as the mindset. There's a guy named Wayne Dyer, and he has this quote that says, love Wayne Dyer. This quote, he says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Hold on one second. Hold on. Mm-hmm. You said a magic word. This is one of my favorite books. Oh, yes. Yeah, The Power of Intention. Yes. Oh, honey, listen to me. That way. Yes. Listen to me, KBLX. This man here. And look how beautiful the book is. It's so beautiful that you want to read it. And it's really learning to co-create your world your way. And I just wrote this down too when you were talking. You're creating your future. The future is not just happening to you. Right. You're creating it by these decisions that you're going to make every day. Exactly. So you need to command your day. You have options right now. Command your day. You can create what you want to see today. Yeah. And you not looking at your bills, you being scared, you not calling people. That's poor people decisions. Exactly. And this is even for those people who are not experiencing a serious financial hardship. That's something that all of us can do. When you call like Comcast, Xfinity, whatever the case is, they will always give you a discount. You call your cell phone companies. These are things that actually happen all the time. And every year we should kind of check in with them. Just call them and see where you can maybe save $50, an extra $50 a month. You know what I mean? An extra $70 a month. I mean, that's some huge stuff. I mean, I called Comcast one day and I ended up saving $70 from my bill, and I was like, oh, I need to call every single year. Right? Because they have different discounts and different things and promotions going on. And so then you start recognizing that you can be saving, and what should you be doing with that money? Right? Because we all feel like we can't save. That's like the biggest issue. It's like, oh, honey, can't save. There's no extra money. You know what I mean? We, right at the edge of whatever we're making. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. I understand it.
But you
good stuff in
look for
here.
opportunities, right? And so there might be some savings somewhere that you're not paying attention to. And so that's why you need to definitely like sit down and just, even doing a budget. I know, another practical step. I know people don't like to do budgets, but sit down and just do simple stuff. How much money are you making and what are your expenses? Check what they are directly, you guys. And then look for the opportunities there.
Girl, listen to me. We're gonna be sitting here for 4 or 5 hours. We keep on with this. What's Rami Sati? This is really just, you put your money in different buckets.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is magic right here. Put your money in different. That's it, and have it automatically go where it needs to go out of your paycheck. That's what. But that's it.
Yes,
that's it. You don't have to sit down with everything. So
yes, exactly. So you got to do it the first time maybe, but after that, your regular paycheck goes into, like, usually most people get direct deposit. Why not have things directly deposited in other areas? Have yourself a bill account. Like one way that I actually set up my own personal finances is like my mortgage and my car note, of course, are like the most expensive things that I have, and they all come from one account. So half of my paycheck pays for half of those things. All the time. So I always just have my paycheck. I work at Kaiser as well and do the financial coaching as well. But I end up having half of that money just go right in there. And then what's ever left over, that's my swiper account. That's the money that I just like swipe, right? But I also have a savings account. And I will suggest for all the people that are listening, I don't care if you can only save $5, $10, try something. Now here goes some easy ways of saving. There's a bank called Synchrony Bank, and Synchrony Bank has high yielding interest. So you're making like dollars on your money versus making pennies. So you can be at one of the most popular banks and have money sitting there and be making like 20 cents, or you can be making $20. It's not, you don't have to do anything, but just know where to place your money. So that's a good account. There's a whole bunch of them. Ally, you guys can Google high yield interest savings accounts, and there's a lot of them out there that can like help you. If you want to start investing, there's called Acorn. You guys, Acorn is really good as well, and it just takes the change. And you be like, I don't have no money to invest, and then you find $5, somewhere. So simple things.
And let me throw this out there, because like you said, everybody has different financial situations. Some people, the income, they've lost some income. Yeah. But there's also the flip side where this actually has been of a benefit, because you're not out spending your money. You're not out entertaining. You're not going out to eat. So you have a little extra. And honey, trust me. I'm like, okay, the grocery bill is through the roof. Yes.
Yeah, of course, because you're there more. Right.
But there's some extra money there for some folks. So it makes you very aware of, well, what have I been spending all of this money on? What have I been doing all this time?
One thing, eating out, anytime like I'm sitting down with people, eating out is the most expensive thing that people have outside of their rent. Right? Because if you really take it in, you might eat out for lunch, that's $10, $15. You eat out for dinner, that's another $10, $15. On Friday, you might be a little bit more fancier, right? You want to go to Cheesecake Factory, right? Now on Saturday morning, you want to go to brunch. You know what I mean? Like, so you think about all the different things. And so people easily spend $500, $600, and that's on the low end on eating out.
Yes, ma'am.
And then want stuff and tell me like, oh, I want to buy a new car. I want to buy something. I'm like, you eating everything that you have. You know what I'm saying? You eat it up, y'all.
You eating your car. You eating it.
So, that is an opportunity right now for you guys to see, like, you're not eating out as often as you used to be. Hopefully, if you were door dashing at this moment, tell yourself, no, stop paying all the extra fees, to get things right now, because free delivery, cool. But be very, very careful when it comes down to always the convenience, right? Because convenience also has cost to it. And sometimes that can be your savings as well.
What I love about this, I think what helped me make a big shift is seeing that, where did I see it at? I saw a link to a story about a young man. I don't know if he was even 30. He was a millionaire. Yeah. And the first thing was that him being a millionaire looked nothing like we think of when we think of a millionaire. And really what he was hustling. He owned a few properties, but him and his wife owned like a duplex. They lived in one side, but they rented out the bedroom, the extra bedroom in their side of the duplex. And they rented out the rooms in each one of the properties. He was a secret shopper. So him and his wife only spent $25 a month on groceries because they hustled. And, you know, so the thing was, when I saw that, I said, if this millionaire has sense enough to go be a secret shopper to save these pennies, let me get my little narrow tail on some. And I was doing it right before we started, you know, before the fallout. So again, it's people who have the high net worth. And again, it's not salary, it's net worth. That's the other thing I had to learn. That's rich. That's how rich people talk. This is my net worth. They're not talking about their salaries.
Exactly. Yes.
So just looking at real deal millionaires and how they hustle that money is quite different, and it's closer to you than you think.
Definitely.
That was a big one for me. It was a big one.
Yes, so true. Like we have a lot of the same opportunities that they have, and you guys can learn things. You know what I mean? If you don't like reading, listen to an audiobook. I mean, go on YouTube, and they got cliff notes of a lot of things. So just give you the quick information of what you need. Is, you know, it's there for us. So we definitely want to, you know, take advantage of those things. I feel like there's two different ways when it comes down to like managing your money. It's going to be that prosperity model, or I call it the deprivation model. And I think we need a little combo of all of them. So the deprivation is at least like cutting back. You got to find places you can cut back. But then also the prosperity model is find ways that you can increase your cash flow. Right. You know, and that might, you know, be another opportunity. It may be starting a business. You know, I mean, right now, this is definitely an opportunity for people to start online businesses. If you ever consider doing one, you know, everybody's in front of their computer. Everybody's waiting for some information, you know, and if you can fulfill a need, maybe you are able to tap into one of your gifts that you already have that you really haven't been tapping into. I'm looking at all these people making masks right now. They ain't never made a mask in their life. But you know,
Hallelujah.
on a mask, on multiple masks.
Hello.
Fulfill a need, and you will have some money. Definitely.
I love this. Yeah. So I want to know more about you, because we see these things, and the first thing I noticed about you when I saw your information, very efficient and a very effective brand.
Thank you.
You know, very efficient words, you know, so that caught my attention, because that's a radio trick. I'm not going to say it in 2 pages when I can say it in 2 sentences.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So impactful words. So I love how you flipped your skills into something that's very inviting and accessible to people. So psychologist, financial coach, speaker, and author, doctor of rethinking.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like I can see everything that you told us working in these words of yours.
Yes.
You know, because I want you to talk a little bit about shifting from the old school model of, hey, go to school, get a good job.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but you know what? One job is not the business. It's hustles. It's several hustles and a personal brand that's very inviting. So tell us about building that and how you came to embrace all these different parts of yourself and created abundance with that. Yeah,
I mean, well, you know, so I grew up in, just to give y'all some history, I grew up in Oakland, deep East Oakland, to be exact. But, you know, and when I was there, I saw different struggles in my community and my family. And so I knew that I needed to get out, and academics were the way out for me. And so I was like, let me go after my doctorate degree. I already had in my mind, a dysfunctional family. I was like, I can help other dysfunctional families, you know? So it made sense. Let me go ahead and go towards psychology. And I started doing very well in that area. And despite the fact that, you know, it took a long time to get to go through school to get my doctorate degree, I was able to do it early. I was 25 years old. I was done with my degree very, very fast. And then I started making money. But nobody ever taught me how to manage it. You know what I mean? Like in all that time, nobody really kind of, you know, steps in and teaches you those things.
Right.
I started working with clients and seeing them having financial struggles. And what I started recognizing is that, you know, money struggles are mental health struggles, right? They go hand in hand, right? You know what I'm saying? Because when your money not right, y'all, you know what I mean? Your mind not right. right? And then even when our mind's not right, we do retail therapy, we do something, we start spending money that we shouldn't spend. And so I started really realizing that, and over time, this was maybe 5 years ago, I started to really get into the finances, right?
Right.
Learning my finances, and then also being able to share it a lot more with other people. And so I recognize that this is why I say the rethinking. I always say, like, I'm the doctor of rethinking. I help you to remix your thinking. So you
I love it. I love it.
And it just makes me think about remix. I mean, you're in radio, so a remix of a song, that it's the song because the beat is there, but there's some new features to it, right? And so that's what I feel like has to happen with our thinking. It has to be the same thing. Some things are okay, right? Some of the ways that we've, been thinking are okay, but sometimes we need to add some new features to it, start applying some new things. Some of that old way of thinking no longer serves us the way that it did in the past, right? It may have made sense for you when you were 15, 16 years old, right?
Right.
It may have made sense for you in your 20s, but now you're 30, you're 40, and now that type of thinking doesn't make sense anymore. And it's time to like just remix it a little bit, add some other new features and learn some new things so you can have a better way of living in the world.
I love it. And I just wrote down audiobooks because you're talking about just the psychology of this.
Right.
I've always been a big reader. I've got like tons of books in here, but I went from the actual books to the Kindle books to the audio books. And sometimes I might have all three if it's something that's real good.
Right.
But I found that the audio books are really effective because it's somebody else literally talking to you.
Yes.
And you can repeat it over and over again because the repetition is going to help. Because just like you said, we're going to fail a bunch of times when we're trying to change.
Right.
And there's so many free resources.
Yes.
And what was you just said it a little while ago, I don't have enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the most detrimental thought that you can think.
Yeah.
When you say I have enough, then no, you're not going out here shopping every day because I got enough clothes. That's the most powerful thing I've ever told. I've got enough clothes. Yes. I've got enough shoes. Right. I got enough different bundles of hair. I got enough. Yes. I'm okay. Yes. I'm okay. So, we make it harder than it has to be, all of it.
All the time, right? And I think a big thing is we need to kind of set some goals. I think sometimes we don't have goals. And so sometimes when we have extra money, we don't know where to direct it because we don't have any goal. Like, why am I saving this money? And so you kind of have to like develop some type of goal. And then the main area of developing a goal is be willing to pay the price, right? Some sacrifices going to have to happen. You may not be able to buy the shoes because you're trying to get your kid to go to college, right? You have to think through like, what is my purpose? I want to purchase this house, but maybe I can't buy this, right? Even for the young people, you may want to move out of your parents' house. You got to think if that's one of your goals, then you start to think a little bit differently about every dollar you have. Right. So you have a couple of goals. I mean, I'm all about vision boards and different things like that, because if we're able to at least see our vision, if it's up, I'm all about saturating your environment with positivity, throw some quotes up to remind your subconscious, whether you're paying attention to it or not, you go past it. Your subconscious is feeling whatever that information is that's on that board, whether it's a picture, an image, some words, whatever it is. Why I love YouTube. You don't even have to, the audiobooks could just literally just be playing while you're going to sleep, you guys.
Yes, I love it.
It's just something that simple. Go on if you have a short attention span, which most of us do, I do.
Oh, yeah.
See the 10 or 15 minute motivational video on YouTube and it'd be like, boom, that's it. Right. And just listen to those things, even while you're just getting dressed in the morning. You don't have to be super focused, but best believe that your subconscious is going to feel it and it's going to start making shifts even when you're not paying attention. So just know that those simple, like minor adjustments will make some major results in your life,
Hey, Kimberly Wingfield, I see you, sis. So I love all of this. And we were talking about, your online hustle too. I don't want to wrap up before we talk about that. There's so many opportunities. And what I hate to see, because I do brand coaching and stuff with people. That's one of the most stress-free ways to create another hustle. Because again, it was like some idea that maybe in the back, or how do you do that? The technology is way easier than you think.
Yes.
And whatever your skill is, look, you know, like what we're doing right now, everybody's like, oh my God, how do you do that with the split screen?
Yeah.
And how do you do all of that? Honey, listen to me.
Yes.
Somebody else did the hard work. We live in the Bay Area. People invent stuff like this every day.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you got any kind of skill,
yeah,
if you got anything, if you got a product, even, you know, you can create, you know, space where people can, hey, pay you. You send them this little box with the face mask with the African print on the front and whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's an instantaneous change. And let me investigate how I can turn this into something online and virtually, because that's, trust me, the code, you said COVID land.
Yes.
Everything is about to be different, y'all.
Everything, right. We are not going back to the same.
No.
Like, it's not going to be the same at all.
No. And I don't know, this might be some kind of model or something that's in the whole psychology realm. There was a woman on a TEDx talk. And she said, sometimes it's just as simple as you just don't see yourself as the person who can do this thing. You know, you don't even see it as, you say you want it, but you don't see it as a possibility for yourself.
Yeah. Definitely. Areas of self-worth. I mean, that's a money issue too. That's money mindset too. But sometimes we don't believe we are worthy. One motivational thing that I share with people all the time, and I'll be at Kaiser and I'll be like, I don't know if you really about this life, you about you scriptural, spiritual, anything. But Steve Harvey has this really quick video called Faith Street.
Ooh.
It's called Faith Street. It's a real simple one, y'all, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But what he goes in and he creates like a little picture, like almost like a little cartoon that you can look at it. And what he says is that, you know, we're asking the universe, we're asking God, whatever, you know, for something, right? But we're not living on Faith Street. We're living on Doubted Drive. We living on I'm not worthy way, right? And so when we're on those areas and we're not on Faith Street, we cannot receive what is actually there for us. The package did come, right? We just are not able to actually grab onto that package, you know? So that is like one of my things that I like to hold on in my mind. I'm like, yes, you know, if I'm asking for something and it's not coming right now, I need to check in with myself and say, wait, are you feeling like you're not worthy? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on now, you know, check yourself and get on the right path so you can be in a state of receiving it. I think there's Ask and it shall be given. I don't Abram Hicks, I believe is the name. But it's something you can ask, right? But if you're not in the state to actually receive, you won't even be able to see it. Exactly. You won't even be able to see it. There, right next to you. Right there. The opportunity's been there the whole time, and you thought it was something. You thought it was for somebody. Oh, I can't do that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about technology. I don't like the way I look when I be seeing myself online. You know, it's all kind of stupid excuses. Yes. And it's like, you better jump in that thing because and the other thing is this, because I mean, there's so many intersections in like what you do and what I like to talk about and do. Hey, Luther, honey. Hey, Joandra. So the thing is, you have to ask and make room. Yes. And then anticipate that it will be uncomfortable. That's the thing. You want it to be, it is easy, but sometimes it's easy and still feels uncomfortable. Yes, definitely. It's a part. You said the relapse is a part of the process. I'll add another one. Pain is a part of the process. Yes, you got to stretch yourself, right? Oh, honey, look, we talked about this because I do like online workshops for people who want to build their brand. So I was telling the ladies, I said, you know, sometimes I know that for me, when I'm doing stuff, when I'm creating cute graphics, like the graphic I sent you, sometimes when I start creating that graphics, I know that it's real. And I'll have a good cry because it's like those little crazy things. Oh, you can't do this. I don't know who you think you are. It ain't never worked before. Blah, 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 blah. All of that will be in your head. And honey, I have to sit there. It's like, Nikki, you can cry, but do not move until you finish this flyer. Yes. So I know that's my process. Sometimes it can be extremely painful. There's all kind of stuff that'll come up for us. We could talk about being women of color and all the stuff our grandmothers and great grandmothers had to go through. That pain is still in there. Definitely. So it could hurt. You trying to save that money, you not going out to eat. You trying to talk about learning about the stock market and feeling like a dummy. Honey,
It's gonna hurt.
Yes,
It's gonna. That's the part people don't talk about. Because as soon as it start hurting, oh no, I need to go out and order me 6 pizzas. That's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly. Yes, you are gonna feel uncomfortable. It's so funny that people think when they come to therapy that it's just gonna they're gonna just feel better the next day. And I'm like, no, in your emotions and sitting in your emotions. And that, like most of us try to avoid things, right? We drink, we eat, we maybe too much like oversex, hypersexualize. We do stuff to avoid more than we actually try to feel. And so once you start feeling, you won't feel it, right? It might be a lot of pain that might be sitting there and you're going to have to experience that, but you have to go through the process. There is another side to it. You will get to the other end.
Mm-hmm. And for the folks, if you have a question, I just wanted to put that out there. If you have a question for Dr. Rosché, please go ahead and type your questions in. I'm going to ask her one last question while you guys formulate what you want to ask her. So, we started out the conversation in such a way, and I think a lot of folks think that when we start talking about really anything, we're not going to get back to the whole spiritual part, but here we are, honey, bam. Tell us what your personal rituals look like. Everybody like morning, evening. How do you keep yourself grounded throughout the day? Because that's your inner work. And if you ignore the inner work, really none of this, you know what I mean? You can't make any kind of mindset change unless you're taking care and you have enough self-awareness.
Definitely.
To put that work in. So tell us a little bit about what your day might look like and how you process.
So the beginning stage, I want to say that it's all a process, right? So some days I'm awesome with it and some days I'm not. Right?
How do you
know that's part of the process too, right? But on my awesome days, let me tell you about those.
Tell us about those.
I'm gonna make sure that I start my day, and I believe in a meditative process, whatever that looks like for you, right? So take a couple of deep breaths. If you feel prayer is part of that aspect for you, then you pray. Right. But you say like a focused prayer, conscious of it, not falling asleep kind of prayer, but you stay focused, even asking for, good things for the day. Right. I often do listen to personal development videos. So, once you start listening to one, other recommendations will happen on YouTube. Right. And I like to listen to those things as I'm, taking a shower and getting ready. And I can usually kind of get a nugget for the day that I can kind of roll with throughout my day. So that's something that I do. Sometimes it might just be some positive spiritual music because you get nuggets from music just listening to.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Right. So I do that. Also, another thing that I sometimes do at night, and I don't do it enough. I will say this: I don't do this enough. Is that sometimes it's so easy when life is giving you so much to do, especially being I feel like I have successful people problems. I will say that where I'm an entrepreneur and all these opportunities and things will be coming, and you can just feel overwhelmed with greatness. Right. It can be good stuff, but you can still easily get overwhelmed. And so at night, I kind of chill and I do a lot of journaling. I'm more of a scripting person. So I'm not a journaler where I journal kind of like, I don't believe journals should be all toxic, just like this is all the bad stuff that happened today. I'm more so scripting out all the beautiful things that I want, being grateful for the things that I have right now, so really kind of staying in those types of states. And so that is part of the process that I need to do this more. That's what I'm saying. I sit down maybe only once or twice a week, really making sure that I do the grateful stuff. And I do that when I find myself feeling more overwhelmed. And then I'm like, wait, this is good, Rosché. Just remind yourself, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. You know how they say that the cup is half full, cup is half empty kind of thing. And so it's all about perspective, right? Sometimes people are looking at the cups and all we're looking at is what's missing, or sometimes looking at your cup and you seeing like, oh, there is something there and you're feeling a little bit more hopeful. But my mentality is that I need to be living in a cup runneth over mentality.
Hallelujah.
Everything. I don't care. Even if somebody gave me a no today, I called a client and they didn't want to do something, even in the no's, even in disappointments, even in things that discourage you, there are blessings in there. And so you need to find where that blessing is. Where's that opportunity? Like I say, we in COVID land. Opportunity to spend more time with your kids, right? More opportunity to maybe get closer to your spiritual being, right? Get closer to what you desire in life versus just the hustle and bustle of life, right? So, just kind of sit there and think about like, what is my cup runneth over happening right now.
Yeah. Oh, girl, listen to me. You speaking.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I know you just said it. I can't think of the words you use, but it's supposed to be sacred time.
Yeah.
Now, whatever you do with the time, that's yours. It's supposed to feel good. You know, I think a lot of people, I'm gonna meditate and do yoga. Well, if that doesn't feel good, then you're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. And I'm gonna tell you my number one thing, because I'm an early bird. Sometimes I'm up at like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I love it. I love it. It's dark and it's quiet. You know, it's dark and I love it. I mean, but if somebody doesn't like that, don't do it. For me, it's dark and it's quiet, and my brain races so fast that dark and quiet works really well. So, and y'all see, I come to you live every day from my space, honey. This is it right here. So y'all see my candle back there. I just like to sit here, and if I don't do anything else, I sit and I have my almond milk latte, because I make it every morning. I'm not at Starbucks. I'm making my own. And I sit here, and my morning beverage is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. It'll get me out of the bed because it's warm. I like to just sit in my space, and I'll read. I'll do whatever comes to me at the time. I'll meditate. I might do some yoga. I might not. But it's a space that's mine, and it feels really wonderful.
Definitely, yes.
So it's
do something that makes you feel good, right?
It's just whatever don't follow anybody else's ritual. Make your own. I like to sit on the porch and drink my coffee. I like to sit here and read my newspaper. Anything, right? And when Frank Clayton was here the other night, he said, "Don't let your kids wake you up." Get up before them. I said, honey, you'd have kept some people out of jail with that one. Don't you let the kids catch you still in that bed. You better get up before those babies. You got little ones? Get up before your kids. That'll save your whole brain. So it's easier than we think it is. So we do have a question from Sherry Haraway. And really, it's a virtual hustler question. She says, I need advice. I want to open a plant to produce PPE. Is that the personal protective?
I think that's what she means.
I think that's what it is, but can't do it alone. But asking friends to join in may be risky. Any advice?
May be risky. So, I mean, I think you want to make sure that you get as educated as possible on what you're trying to do. And even when you're trying to ask people to be a part of something, you definitely need to think about what is the benefit for them, right? I mean, they love you and all that stuff, right? And they might want to support you, but people need to understand what is in it for them. So if you can kind of figure out a good plan as to what, if they were to invest in you in whatever particular way, then from there, what can they get from that? If that's what you're talking about, just like your regular friends. But if you're looking for, higher level things, like maybe like angel investors, like people who could really invest. I mean, sometimes your friends are really honestly not the best people when it comes down to getting support around things. That's just my experience and is what I've seen with other people. What might be very good for you to do is there is the Small Business Development Center at DC. And they, for free, give you guys like information around how to start your business, how to go after certain money and funding that may be out there to actually help you. And they do it for free, you guys. Yesterday, one thing that I've been doing for this month, April, is Financial Literacy Month, you guys.
Ooh.
And so we've been doing what's called Money Table Talks. And so we've been interviewing different people. So if you can go to the group Money Table Talk, and we have the different lives inside of the group. But yesterday we had this guy named Chris Horton on, who's from the SBDC. And he told us how the EIDL was working, the PPP, all the different stimulus packages that are happening for the government and how to tap into it even more so, you guys. So definitely I would say, don't really worry about your friends. Get to the SBDC and find better ways to find better funding out there that you can definitely count on.
And like at about this time, Erica's asking, just type in your question, Erica, and then I can bring it onto the screen. I would say
I'm so excited, y'all. I just want to take a picture of the
I know, this is like so much fun. So the thing is, I don't want to, not that the word trend, but this is something that's happening right now. So even if it doesn't evolve instantly into a plant to produce these things. It's like, what would be a few notches underneath that? Can I get them somewhere pretty quick and sell them and get them out there? So it might look a little bit different, but it's like this thing is moving really fast right now. And as much suffering as there is, there's lots of opportunities for a lot of people. And if you can produce, or if you can create something that's going to, you know, make people's lives easier or safer right now, oh yes, cha-ching.
Yes, definitely.
Oh yes. So you might just want to start talking to people to generate the ideas.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's like you have thoughts in your head one morning, you talk to this person, it'll shift and go, oh, I didn't think about that. So there might be like a zillion more opportunities in there that have not come to mind yet, but you have to stay in action. And again, all this is spiritual undercurrent. You have to stay in action, because the faster you move, the more things will come to you. If you just sit there, or let me think about, because I'll think something to death.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you just sit there, well, you know, what's the quote I'm thinking about? Clarity comes from engagement, not thought. So you can't think your way into it. You have to start moving, start talking, start researching, and follow Dr. Roche's advice. There's resources for businesses. Once you jump in the pool, honey, whirlwind. Then it'll just.
I mean, a lot when it comes down to just masks and gloves. I mean, you might be able to sell it to your friends because they want it now, right? And then tell them that. I mean, one thing that they can do just for free is to share it with other people, right? They know 10 people who also need masks and gloves.
Yes.
Right? They may be at certain businesses that still need masks and gloves, and there is a shortage on that. If you're able to produce that, then that's going to be the way that you're going to make that money. You know. So definitely.
Yeah. So even if your friends can't be investors or people that'll help you, they might be your ambassadors. Post this on your Facebook. Post this on Instagram. Pose with the little face mask I'm selling, and let your friends know. Click here. So there's so many creative ways. Okay. So Enough Said has a question too. She says, I really want to begin using the internet as a side hustle. Am I too late? I'll say, no, you're not.
No, you're not. No. There, I'm with you too. No, you're never too late to start a side hustle. You know, you want to think about what is kind of your gifting, where your strengths lie. So kind of get, you know, comfortable in what that is for you. You may have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? So you may need to be, you know, being on videos, you know, maybe asking to be on people's podcasts, whatever the case is, you know, to make sure whatever you choose, whatever your gifting is, to make sure you're getting it out there so people know about it, right? The biggest issue to me when people have their own business is that they don't tell enough people about it. You know, you get like 3 or 4 no's, and then now you don't want to talk to anybody. Well, you know, there's millions of people out here. You know what I mean? So make sure you can, you know, just start checking in with people. So no, the internet as a side hustle, it is definitely not too late. People are in front of their computers right now. They are waiting for something. All they doing is just searching on social media and scrolling, waiting for you to have something that they want to look at. So make sure you find it and make that happen, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And then we have another one from Kristen Hadley. She says, do you think right now is Zoom a way to grow your business right now? Yes.
Yes. Y'all have yes. I mean, matter of fact, I mean, it's funny. This is a quick, like, just kind of stock thing. You know, in the month of March, Zoom went from 10 million users to 200 million users, you guys. 10 million to 200 million users. It was crazy. And so that means everybody is learning Zoom. And so I knew I had to buy some stock in Zoom, because my mama, she's 77 years old and got invited to a 60th birthday party on Zoom.
Really? What? Get out.
The opportunity is just crazy, y'all. So definitely Zoom is definitely a way. It always has been a way. I actually have always done most of my financial coaching, even my therapy sessions, all through Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've been doing that. I've been doing it way before even, you know, COVID even happened. So it's definitely a great opportunity, and it's a very cost efficient opportunity.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You guys. So yeah.
Yeah, so I will second that. I mean, I know we both have been hustling in the same kind of way, where it's like, look, that's what I'm doing when I'm sitting here after I have my little coffee. Look here, let me show you what I be using. These big sheets of paper.
Yes.
Okay, I'll sit and brainstorm.
Yes.
Until the ideas formulate themselves. So again, that's my side hustle right there.
Yeah.
I like to get with women and people who want to start some kind of business. And I teach them these tools, like the tools that I'm using right now. I've gotten so many people on my, what is that you're doing?
Yeah.
So there's tools, there's Zoom. You can use this platform just like you use Zoom.
Right.
And you can sit in your house.
Yes.
And stay safe.
Yes.
From the COVID.
Yes.
And still make money.
Yes.
You can do these things, the tools. Again, somebody else did the tough work. It is not tech. It's not high tech.
No.
Because I think high tech to me is people who can code and who invent actual apps and who create platforms. That's high tech to me.
Yes. Yeah.
But for us, everything is user friendly. And, feel free to follow either one of us and both of us, really both of us, because the thing is this. You have to, when you say surround yourself.
Yes.
Surround yourself. Great people who have whatever the knowledge is, whatever their lane is, they're going to give you sparks.
Yes, definitely.
It sparks of inspiration where it's like, I don't think I would have thought of that had I not talked to Dr. Rosché.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have thought of that. So if you fill up your Facebook friends list.
Yes.
If you follow the people on YouTube, you can stay, what's the word we said at the beginning? You can stay in this flow all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Kristen said, do you do training on live or do you I guess that's record on Zoom? Both. It's the same thing, really.
Yeah, I do both. You can, it depends on what you feel. I mean, I have there's a virtual summit that I'm going to be a part of next week, and I recorded myself doing the Zoom talk, and I'm just going to be part of the summit in that way. But most of the time I do live, only because I do like to see people as I'm talking, and different things like that. So it's either way.
And Zoom is more of like if you're looking at people, you want to, so that they can add, because like what we're doing right now is a live stream. People can still ask questions, and we got the cute little platform. But Zoom is like if you want to hold a class that's private, right? And people can talk to each other, mastermind, and all that other stuff. Yeah. So I don't know about anybody else, but my eyes be sparkling every time I see these great tools out here.
Yes.
That we can all use. So our education system is heavy on Zoom right now. Yeah. So there is opportunity in there for everybody that's watching right now. It ain't never too late. You still breathing? Yes. Yeah. So this has been so awesome. This is, honey, we've been talking for almost an hour. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it. If we don't watch it, we will be sitting here for another 3 or 4 hours. Right. Saging and humming and stuff. For real. So where can we find you, Dr. Rosché? Where can we follow and support?
Yes. So, you guys can follow me on, of course, Facebook, Rosché Brown. You guys see the spelling of my name. That is going to be very important. Is the Rosché part, Rosche, last name Brown. And then also on Instagram, it's Dr._Rosché as well. I do actually free financial check-ins, that like 20-minute check-ins. So if you're interested in that in this time of your life, let's do it. We're going to be doing it through Zoom, right? So I'm not going to your house, right? And you're not coming to mine. You won't be coming to no office or anything. But we'll be doing it through Zoom, and at least check in about what your money mindset is, what's kind of going on right now for you. And let's, get some information out there.
I love this. And again, it's like all you need is a new spark. Yeah. All you need is to stop thinking the same old thoughts over and over again.
Yes.
And it again, if you think this is something separate from spirit and what you believe about yourself, you're sadly mistaken, because all of this is your inner work. That's your work for this particular lifetime.
Yes.
For you to get down in here and shift into. As long as you're still here and still breathing, you can absolutely make changes. So, I think this is so great, because it's like, hey, it's nothing new under the sun, honey.
Yeah.
It's nothing new under the sun. It's like, this is the little abundance pathway. This is the broke pathway.
Exactly.
That's what it's always been. That's what it's always been. So check her out. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and I love the idea of the financial check-in.
Yeah.
You know, because that's like a great opportunity to get, you know, not actual in person face to face, but virtual face to face. And again, get one of those great spark that's going to change your mindset about a few things. Yeah. All you got to do is just say yes and take a little bit of action. Honey, we're so grateful for you, Dr. Rosché. You got to come back one day soon.
Definitely will do. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys. I've shifted quite a bit in the last hour. I hope everybody else has too. Yes, she is on IG.
Right.
Did she say?
You did it right. Yeah.
Did she say Dr._Rosché on IG? Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I enjoyed seeing you too, Miss Kimberly Wingfield. Y'all have a great rest of your evening. Nikki Thomas, Dr. Rosché, the Happy Hour live on 102.9 KBLX Facebook page. Share the video, y'all, and come back and see us tomorrow night at about 6 o'clock. Out. You got the look. You got the hook. Sure enough.